Hello everyone, this is Psycho, and today we'll be covering the weapons the pros used in the World Finals this year. We will be separating these weapons into three main categories, which is Anchor, Flex, and Passive. This list will also not be in any particular order, so just because a weapon is mentioned before another weapon doesn't make it better or worse. And because this list is exclusively for comp, we won't be including banned weapons such as the SKS, ASVAL FMJ, and H3K30. Alright, starting off with the Anchor weapons, or the main ARs. These are the guns used for holding down positions and preventing enemies from pushing. The first of these weapons is the Kilo 141, a gun that has been top tier for over a year now. This is all thanks to its low recoil, good damage range, comfortable fire rate, and decent handling. It also has rewarding multipliers, as landing a couple shots and chest shots will reduce shots to kill for an even better TTK. The recommended build is the same as before, focusing on improving accuracy and recoil. Next is the LK24, which performs very similarly to the Kilo, although it does have some differences, trading some fire rate and mobility for even less recoil and flinch, which makes it even better at longer ranges. It also features even better body multipliers than the Kilo, which allows it to easily reduce shots to kill, especially at longer ranges, somewhat consistently. Just like the Kilo, it should be built out for range and accuracy. The last Anchor weapon is the UL-736. Despite being the slowest out of the three options, it is also the most lethal one. The strong upper body multipliers give it a phenomenal 4-tap range and should not require more than 5 shots to kill regardless of distance, which when paired with its decent BSA and recoil makes it a force to be reckoned with at range. It also gives the potential to kill in 3 shots in the initial range, which extends up to 32 meters at base, which results in a TTK that can outgun most SMGs, partially compensated for slower handling. Being a light machine gun also means that it benefits from the Disable perk, applying slowness regardless of where you hit on the body. The build we provide maximizes its long-range performance by boosting range, recoil control, and BSA. Moving on to the Flex weapons. These are the guns used by players who want to play more flexibly, being able to take range fights while still having the ability to take fights at closer ranges. The first one being the Grau 5.56, a fairly recent addition, but it's already becoming one of the most commonly used weapons in the game. This is all thanks to its competitive TTK at all ranges, decent fire rate, above average mobility and handling, and some of the easiest recoil in the game. This pretty much replaces the Krig 6 as the go-to jack-of-all-trades AR that is also incredibly easy to use with no noticeable drawbacks. Our recommended build is one that improves range and bullet speed without hurting mobility. A similar weapon would be the FFAR-1. This is essentially a more aggressive version of the Grau. While its recoil and range are not quite as good, it makes up for that by handling much faster and having the fastest fire rate out of any AR, which makes it extremely forgiving and can be useful when challenging SMGs. Speaking of which, it is capable of killing just as fast, if not faster than SMGs up close if you manage to land 2 upper body shots. The build focusing primarily on maximizing its lethality by boosting range and bullet spread.
Before we continue, we have a quick service announcement. Many of you are eagerly anticipating Warzone Mobile, which we already plan to cover on the channel soon. But currently, Warzone Mobile only has servers in Australia, South America, and Europe. So if you're not in one of these regions, you might be unable to enjoy the game. But fear not, we have a solution for you. Introducing Gear Up Game Booster, your ticket to playing Warzone Mobile from anywhere in the world. If you're worried about ping and latency issues, Gear Up's got your back too, as it allows you to select your preferred region for the most stable and low latency gaming experience. The beauty of Gear Up extends beyond Warzone Mobile. As many of you have experienced, losing a game due to lag can be incredibly frustrating. We all have that one game where we are so close to couching a 1v5, but then your ping decides to step in, causing you the game and embarrassing you in front of your teammates. This is where Gear Up comes to the rescue yet again. With just a push of a button, it can supercharge your gaming connection, boosting your ping and ensuring you never suffer from lag-related issues again. And this applies to any online game, including Call of Duty Mobile. Plus, it is easy on your device's resources and safe to use, so there's no reason not to give it a try. If this all sounds appealing to you, click the link in the description to get started with Gear Up today, so you can enjoy seamless gaming regardless of your location or the game you're playing.
But if you want to be even more aggressive, then the CBR4 is the best weapon for you. While it's nowhere as oppressive as before after some nerfs, it is still an amazing weapon with competitive SMG TTK and mobility along with nearly non-existent recoil, which makes it the best flex weapon directly taken on SMGs. However, it is also the worst BSA and flinch out of the 3 flex weapons, making it the least reliable when taken on long-range fights. The build we recommend for it focuses on mitigating its main downside being the mediocre BSA while boosting some range as well. The last category are for the aggro weapons. These are used for pushing into objectives and making first contact with the enemy team, typically at closer ranges. The Switchblade X9 is the most versatile of these options, featuring great TTK and mobility while also having enough recoil and BSA to take fights that are just outside of close range. It is also quite consistent since it only needs one upper body shot to achieve said TTK. The build we recommend is the same as always, boosting range and strafe speed. Next we have the Fennec, which is the definition of close quarters combat. This is due to its potential to kill insanely fast with chest shots and having the second fastest fire rate in the entire game, which makes it incredibly forgiving when it comes to missing shots. Its mobility is great as well, which makes it very useful for super aggressive players. However, this comes at a cost of versatility. In addition to the high recoil and flinch, it also has the smallest mag size relative to its fire rate, which quite noticeably hampers its performance outside of close quarters. We recommend improving range and recoil without hurting mobility too much to mitigate its downside as much as possible, which is why the CX9 can serve as a great alternative, featuring less recoil and flinch while carrying a bigger mag. It also has a more consistent 4-shot kill potential, which makes it a more reliable option than the Fennec. This comes at the cost of having a bullet velocity variable unlike the Fennec, but this shouldn't affect you too much as long as you stick to close quarters. The build we recommend helps boost its extremely effective close range performance by improving range and bullet velocity while increasing mobility as well. We will make a separate video breaking down the specific ammo conversion in detail. An honorable mention will go to the CX9 with the 9mm hollow point conversion, which turns it into a completely different beast as seen in the World Finals. Its ability to consistently one burst for the fastest TTK out of any gun at 116 milliseconds up to 19 meters means that it is on paper at least the deadliest weapon in the game, being able to drop enemies basically instantly. And it has even better mobility than the base gun, so you can play very aggressively with it. The only thing that holds it back is its incredibly tiny mag size of 12 rounds, which means that you will have to pretty much reload after every kill due to how fast the bursts come out. But as long as you hit your shots, you will win every gunfight. Alright, and those are all the weapons that the pros have used in this year's World Finals. Let us know in the comments which of these weapons you have in your loadouts, and if you don't, tell us what you prefer to use as well. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Christ Psycho, going dark.